Hi, welcome to my channel, The English Nest. Today we will be discussing some of the rules that one should know while converting a singular noun to a plural one. So first we need to understand what is a plural noun. A plural noun is a noun that refers to more than one person, place, thing or idea. In simple words, if we speak of more than one place or more than one person, we call it a plural noun. The most common method to change a singular noun to a plural one is by taking one or more extra letters at the end of the word, usually an S but often others. Now, the most commonly used method is to add an S after the singular noun and we convert it to the plural noun. Apart from this particular method or this particular process, there are other methods where we can add other letters as well. An interesting fact that you should never forget is English words never become plural by putting letters at the start of the word. Now, before we begin our class today, I would like to share a very interesting information with you. That is, in English language, whenever we try or whenever we make an attempt to convert a singular noun to a plural one, we never add any letter or letters at the beginning of the word. Instead, we always add letter or letters at the end of the word. So this is one rule or one fact that you should never forget, especially when it comes to English language. Let us go through the first rule. Regular nouns are nouns in English that follow the standard rules for forming plurals. Typically, you add s to form the plural of a singular noun. Now, this is the most generally used rule that we do in everyday life, and most of us are used to this particular rule. That is, by simply taking an s or using an s after the word, like cat to cats, dog to dogs, chair to chairs. So this is the easiest way to convert and the most simple way to convert a singular noun to its plural form. The next one is for nouns ending in s, ss, sh, ch, x or z, the plural form is made by adding es. Now, given below are few words that ends with exactly the letters that is mentioned in this rule. The first word ends with s, that is bus. So the plural form will be by adding es, buses. The second word ends with ss. The word is glass and its plural form is glasses. The third word, that is brush, ends with sh and the plural form is brushes. According to the rule, that is by adding an es, we convert it to its plural form. The next word ends with x. The word is box. The plural form is boxes. The next word ends with z. The word is bus. Again, we add an es after the word and convert it to plural noun. And the last word ends with ch. According to the rule, we are adding es to this word branch and converting it to its plural form. So branch becomes branches. For nouns ending in a consonant followed by y, the plural form is made by changing the y to I and adding es. In English dictionary, you will find many words that end with y. Now, in order to convert these singular nouns to plural one, you will have to follow this rule. So while you convert, you will have to keep two things in mind. That is, the second last word has to be a consonant followed by a y. If this is the situation, then the first step you should do is to remove the y, that is the last letter, and replace it with I, followed by es. So let me go through the first example. The first example that I have shared here is country. Now be very careful. The word country ends with Y and the second last letter is R, that is a consonant. So the first thing we do is we remove the letter Y and put an I there, and then we add ES. So country becomes countries. Let us again go to the next example. The second example is family. The second last letter of the word is a consonant followed by Y. So we remove Y and add I followed by ES. It becomes families. So from family it becomes families. Let us go to the last example, that is army. Again, the second last letter is a consonant followed by the letter Y. So we remove the letter Y, add I, and then followed by ES. So army becomes armies. For nouns ending in F or FE, the plural form is often made by changing the F or FE to V and adding ES. Now this rule applies to the words that ends with F and FE. So let us begin with the first example. Let us take the word leaf, L-E-A-F. So according to the rule, this particular word ends with the letter F. So what exactly one should do? The first step is to remove the F. And the second step is to add a V followed by ES. So leaf becomes leaves. Another example, W-O-L-F, wolf. The word ends with F. We remove the letter F, replace it with V, and then we add ES. So wolf becomes wolves. Now we take the third example. Knife, K-N-I-F-E. The K is silent. This particular word ends with the letters F-E. So we have already learned the same rule applies in this kind of words as well. So we remove the letters FE and add V followed by ES. So knife becomes knives. And the last example, that is L-I-F-E, life. This particular word also ends with FE. So to convert it into plural form, we remove the FE and add V instead and followed by ES. So life becomes lives. However, there are exceptions to this rule, where some nouns ending in F or FE simply add S to form the plural. Now there are words in our English dictionary that also ends with F and FE, but surprisingly do not take the same rule or follow the same rule. Some examples are given here. For example, roof is converted to its plural form by simply adding an S. So roof becomes roofs. Chef becomes chefs. Motive becomes motives. So you see the rule that we have just previously discussed is not applied here. Now let us go to this second last example, that is SAFE. Now this word ends with the letters FE. And the rule is not the same as the one that we had just discussed in our previous page. We simply add S here and convert it to its plural form. For nouns ending in O, the plural form generally adds ES. According to this rule, the singular nouns that ends with an O usually adds an ES in order to get converted to its plural form. The first example is embargo. To convert it to its plural form, we simply add ES. So embargo becomes embargoes. Mosquito, mosquitoes. Buffalo, buffaloes. However, some nouns ending in O simply add S to form the plural. Now again we see some exception here. So there are some words again which though ends with O do not take up the previous role. They simply add an S and it gets converted to its plural form, like photo, photo to photos, piano, pianos, radio, radios, studio, studios, video, videos.